Hello everyone, Argsy here. Welcome back to the Canadian Cattle Farmer here in Chilliwack, British Columbia. We've just finished giving the cows what is actually our last food supplies. You can see there, we are completely out of fermented silage. We've obviously got all the silage we did make, but that's still fermenting. We've got no more hay. We do have a decent amount of straw, but we're down to about 130,000 litres of maize in there, but there's only about 7,000 which is actually processed. The rest is still fresh and not fermented, so we're kind of in a little bit of a pickle. We've got enough food probably to keep the cows happy today. The cattle, the beef here, they should be fine, and the younger cows over at the other farm, they should all be fine as well. But for now, I'm a little bit worried about how we're going to keep our milk producing and money makers over there in the freestall, how we're going to keep them happy. We might have to look at buying in some TMR, see if there's anyone else locally that might have some we could go and buy, and bring a few loads in, because that could be our only solution. We're not short money, $830,000 there, so we can afford to do it, which is good, but obviously I'd rather not have to. I'd rather be able to make sure we can live on our own means. But let's have a look here on our silage. It's still fermenting, 38%, so it's been about 24 hours. Not quite. So hopefully by the end of today, possibly by the end of the day, we might actually have some silage. So we might not have to buy in too much, and we'll be getting into the clover hopefully next month, so we'll be able to get some hay supplies back in. Of course, hay is just a filler, so it's not too important. But that's not the main task for today. The main task today is to get the grass field that we mowed last time, get that all limed and get some more pH, improve the pH levels on that. And then we also have the slurry to apply to it, so we're going to go and get that all done as well. The first time we've actually pulled any slurry out of our big slurry pit. Now I do need to go and get the PUMPIN agitator and mixer and everything for that. We don't have that yet, so we'll have to sort that out. But first things first, get the spreader here out, and we're going to go and fill it with lime and go and get some lime put all on this field to get that pH level right up where it should be. The spreader full, got the axles spread right out so that they're not going to get in the way. You'll notice the track here is all finished. The guys that were doing the work here, they have left. They've done what they needed to do, which is good. Looks great. It's probably a bit wider than we needed to, but like I said last time, at least it's wider than narrower. Had to have too narrow a track there. Didn't work out how we needed it, but anyhow, let's jump in here and get this done. Now this is going to actually make it very, very easy when we come in to do the slurry to see exactly where we've been or where we haven't been, to make sure we're only doing the parts of the fields we need to. Zoom out there a little bit further to make sure we can see everything. So it's not going down too quickly. 10% gone, so we're putting about 0.75, or raising the pH level by about 0.75, so we're putting in about just over 5 tonnes to the hectare. It's actually quite a bit of lime, but it's right, it is what it is, and it's what it needs. So we'll get this done, we'll race around the field. Good thing we're close to the yard, or right next to the yard. We don't have to go very far to top up with our lime when we need to. So I'll get this done, we'll see you in just a minute. I think I'm going to claim another good guess on how much lime we needed to finish that field. I'll say, after only putting the 60% in there, I did get a little bit nervous when we first came over there, but it's worked out pretty much perfectly. So we'll just get that folded up a little bit more, get those axles dragged back in, and get the spreader here put back over in the shed. But that went well. Nice and fast. When you're running at 25 miles per hour, and spreading with the width this machine does, it doesn't take long to get those little tasks done, which is nice. It means we can move on to what we have to do next, which is go and get some slurry now applied to that field. You're good, it'll wash the lime in and add some fertilizer to the field at the same time. So let's park this up in here. It's a pretty good spot. And we're going to go grab the pickup because we do need to go down to the shop, grab the gooseneck trailer. But as I said before, we need to get a pump to be able to pump out of the slurry pit. There's a pump, and back up the ramp here, park on the back of the ramp, and it should then be able to get slurry into the spreader. Now, I'm not sure how much we're going to need. We've got 212,000 litres in this tank, in this pit, and then there's quite a bit more floating around. I think there's over 800,000 litres over in the free stall. So unfortunately I haven't been able to get them to link where this slurry pit will drag the manure over from there and be counted in this, which is a bit of a shame. Would have been nice if that worked, but it is what it is. So we'll go and grab this pump and we'll be back down here soon. So here we are, we've been down to the store. We are back here with our slurry pump, which we're going to use to get the slurry out of the big pit. Now we had to lift it on from the side, so I'm hoping we're going to be able to maybe use the Kubota with that silage grab, carefully grab it and lift it off. If that doesn't work, we're going to have to go and get the big wheel loader and use that. But we'll try with the Kubota first, one because it's here, but two, I think that grab should do. And we'll see how we go, but let's get things unstrapped. Let's leave this parked up here for now. Take all those straps off. I think we've got on every strap just about possible. And let's go and see if we can get this set up. Let's see if we can get this lifted off or not. Be careful here with where those the top part of the grab goes through the middle. I'm not even sure how well weighted it is. Might be a bit unbalanced, but we do have a little bit of a collision there. Alright, we might have to get a little bit closer. The weight there and the balance a little bit closer towards the front. Seems to be a little bit front heavy. We'll give that one more go. Otherwise, I think the big wheel loader with the wider silage forks might be the better deal. Let's see. Put that in there. Oh, we're not even going to be able to lift it. Too heavy. Here for the Kubota. Going? No. Alright, let's go and grab the wheel loader, and that should handle it, no worries. Well, it wasn't pretty, but we got it off. We had to change to the bale fork. The silage forks were too wide. We ended up having to lift it probably where we shouldn't, and had to grab a couple of chains. But we got it off, which is the important part, and we can now look at getting it hooked up onto the tractor. So I think the 40 series is going to be the best bet for that. Get that backed up and hooked up and make sure we can get everything up and running. We're going to pull out the New Holland. We'll go and grab the New Holland, put that on the slurry spreader, and we'll go and make a start on trying to get some slurry put on these fields. Let's get this over, hooked up, and we'll see if we can get all this working. First things first, we need to get up here and get the gate opened. Use trying to back up there. So here next to that trigger. Oh, gate opens towards us. Here we go, good thing we didn't back up too far. Opens well out of the way. Let's now go and have a look and see what happens when we back up there. We're going to need to probably unfold this in some way. I'm not sure exactly what we need to do. We have got to lift it up quite a bit, so hopefully the tractor's going to have enough power to back up there. That's right. Don't want to back into the pit. It's obviously a pretty precarious position we're in. Now, if we just lower that down, let's go forward a little bit so those stands there are closer to the top. Now, so we can lower that down. It's going to fold it back up, so it's not going to help. Get that bit lowered down. There we go. Much further. I think now with that down as far as that will go, should get that to unfold. Somehow be able to get that all to unfold and get into a position where it will be sucking up what we need it to. Alright, I think that's as far down as we're going to get that, probably because there's not much actual slurry in there. Now, I can actually go the other way, seeing that's where we've got the slurry tank already, then we don't have to bother about pulling up in beside, but we can swing this whole arm around. It's going to be our slurry transfer pipe when the time comes. Spin around that side. Does look like we're going to have to back in, but at least we can back in on this side where there's a little bit more room. Alright, there we go. Now that, when we get the slurry tank backed in, you can see the receptacle on top there, the hole on top. where the slurry will go into. So I don't know now if we turn that on, it's going to do anything or not. Look like it. Let's turn the engine back off, of course. So we'll go and grab a tractor and get hooked up here to the slurry tank and see if we can get it filled. Got the New Holland hooked up. Let's now see if we can back this, get it in the right spot to start filling. Close. Right, how's that look for alignment? That looks pretty aligned. I wonder if we put, we can find our liquid manure tank, slurry, and there we go, getting it filled. You can see the animation there on the end, the agitator and that doing its work down the bottom. Unfortunately, it's not quite in the water as far as it should be. That's more to do with the depth of this slurry tank. I think there's about a 1.5 million litre capacity or 2 million litre capacity on that tank, so we are only right at the very bottom. But there we go, doing what it should. Getting it filled, getting it pumped out, and we'll be able to go and make a start on getting some slurry applied on those fields. It's pretty cool though, I'm pretty impressed with that. I can have a look at it from up the top here, doing its thing. Perfect. Alright, well there we go, we'll let that fill up, and you can see it going down in the slurry tank, obviously, and we'll be able to go and get started. One of the cool little things is you can actually change the tip side, so it can go between the aerating nozzle, where we are now. You can actually get it to change and tip into the pipe. It's pretty cool. You can unload either where we are and effectively simulate aerating, or you can switch it back to the pipe when you want to fill up here into the slurry spreader. So pretty cool little feature. Right, after that, turn that off. Don't want to leave the engine running longer than we need to. Going to jump into the New Holland here again, and we'll go and make a start in the field. We're going to unfold it over here on the edge, as good a place as any. Like I said, it's going to be very easy, the lime on the ground, to be able to see exactly where we've been now. This has actually got a wider spread, what you actually think, with two nozzles that flick out, and then you've got the one in the centre. Get that turned on, heading along the edge of the field here. There you go, you can see how much wider it is on the right than it is on the left. We'll turn that on. We are getting our nitrogen application rate. Hopefully it is on auto. We'll just double check that and make sure it's applying at an auto rate. There, and we want to activate that. If not, it's just applying what it wanted to. So there we go, that's back to automatic, and we should now be getting on what we need to for some grass. There we go, that's pretty good. I'm going to set up our GPS course as we run along this edge of the field. Edge to start on, and then we'll be able to crack just into this, and hopefully, well, we'll definitely have enough slurry. There's no worries about having enough, but hopefully we'll get through it without any dramas. So we'll see you probably again once this one's finished. There we go, that's job done. Slurry all spread on the field and should mean we've got a good level of nitrogen and a good pH level for this grass. We'll have to hop out and check once we get finished here and get out of the field. Go make sure that everything's showing up as nice and dark green. And then it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how much grass we can get off this field next time. We were close to about 700,000 litres, if I'm not mistaken, for the last lot of silage. So if we can get more than that, that'll be pretty cool. Looking forward to it. Let's go and get parked up, and then we'll just come double check to see that that field is looking nice and healthy. There we go, we just walked out into here and everything is showing up as perfect pH and perfect nitrogen, which is fantastic. Really does mean when we get into growing and getting into mowing this again next time, we're going to have a perfect field with hopefully a perfect yield. Only time will tell with that. But I think that is pretty much all we have to do on the farm for now. We are going to have to try and resolve our feed situation because we're not going to be able to get through the rest of this day and into May without having to sort that out. So we're going to have to come up with a solution there for that. But we'll figure that out and worry about that next time. As for next time, we'll probably be mowing our clover. I'm hoping that we're going to be mowing our clover. It feels like a long time ago that we had that clover planted. Obviously there was a few issues with the growth cycles on the map to start with, which have since been resolved. But it does mean that that clover went through about a whole year before it actually started growing. So looking forward to having that mown and see how it all goes. Haven't mown clover before, so I'm looking forward to that. Should be exciting. But anyhow, I'm going to wrap things up there for this episode. As always, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll catch you in the next one.